y'all, my name is Simone Winters and this is the first episode of Summing It Up with Simone. So to start off, I am a track and field athlete at Illinois State, pursuing a degree in journalism with aspirations to become a news reporter, sports reporter, and to go into broadcasting. I pretty much want this podcast to be an open space for athletes to be able to talk about their life journey and how it got them to where they are now in their athletic career, whether they transferred, whether they started off at their initial school, or even if they just graduated and they're not sure about what they're going to do next. But I really wanted this to be an open space for everyone and to allow other student athletes to watch this and understand that their journey is going to be unique to them and everyone has a different process but will still end up in the right spot. I really wanted this to be the topic of my podcast because this is something that hits home for me. I feel like there's been so many trials and tribulations in everyone's life, especially mine, that pretty much brought me to where I'm at now with the understanding of my sport and has ultimately made me gain more love for this sport. So if I'm being honest, no one knows this, but when I was just a senior in high school, I didn't know where I was gonna go to school, what sport I was gonna play, because I started running track about my 4th or 5th grade year in middle school, and after that I did it for like 2 years and I went strictly to basketball. Basketball took up a lot of my time and I was very much invested. Then I ran through some people and different, I would say, obstacles that kind of made me fell out of love with that. And then for the longest, especially when COVID hit, I was not running track. So my senior year definitely was a big moment for me personally to where I'm at now. And honestly, if it wasn't for Track Life University and my parents moving me back to Michigan, I probably wouldn't be running or doing any type of sports in college. But I think that whole year, just the transitioning of moving from Canada back to Michigan, not being with my parents or none of that, and meeting a whole bunch of new people was the biggest part for me. But I can definitely say that those people that I met are like some of my best friends now. So although I committed to Illinois State to run track, I would say that my first 2 years at this school were definitely up and downs. I came in and initially was dealing with knee injuries and knee pains, which caused me to sit out for a lot of meets, indoor and outdoor, as my coach tried to reserve me as much as he could because we had a very small team my freshman year. Going on to my sophomore year, that knee pain transitioned into my hip somehow, and I ended up with a stress fracture, at least 2 stress fractures in my left hip. So I went through that all throughout my indoor season, and then by the beginning of outdoor season, that's when I was actually diagnosed and they found out that I had 2 stress fractures. So this was obviously a hard part for me because since my freshman year, I understood that, you know, the athletes, like, that was our clique. That was who my friends were. And ultimately I was like lost because all of my friends and my teammates are practicing and I'm at home dealing with injury, trying to rest. But I was able to flip something that was bad into a lesson and to kind of pursue a life outside of athletics. And I feel like that really helped me find myself. I was able to get out, join new organizations, meet new people, go to new events, and just put myself out there. I used to be very closed off, not speaking to nobody in class, not even talking outside of or meeting up with people outside of class. But once I got injured, I had to do that because the people who I once surrounded myself with every single day were not there anymore. And I think that's really important for athletes to understand that you have a life outside of your sport. And although you even may pursue it after college, or even if you don't, you need to make your 4 years of college worth it by networking, connecting with people, and just not segregating yourself to a very small group. So just to have a little recap, this podcast is mainly with student athletes from all different types of backgrounds and with all different life experiences. And I just want them to come on here and share their story for everyone else to hear and understand that everyone, you know, has their own pathway and that they will lead to success in their own way. I hope you guys are excited for what's to come next, because I know I am. So you guys stay tuned, and thank you guys for tuning in.